Hey everyone, welcome to Bad Yogi Q&A Wednesday with me, Erin Motz. Today I'm answering a question that I think we all need the answer to. And this is about how do you know whether you need to power through or back off a little bit? What's the tip? What's the key that gives it away? So from a very physical, tangible perspective, let's say you're doing a yoga pose and you wanna know when the pain versus discomfort threshold gets crossed. Here's a good rule of thumb to kind of follow. A lot of times you wanna be looking for sensation in the belly of the muscle, the meat of the muscle. So let's say in your bicep. Don't be intimidated, okay? I know that this is frightening for a lot of you. But let's say in your bicep, if you squeeze this muscular part here, just the muscle, this is kind of soft-ish, that's where you would wanna be feeling the sensation in any yoga pose. So whether it's your bicep or anywhere in your thigh or your calf or your abs, you're looking for a sensation, a slight discomfort, a contraction of a muscle in the belly of the muscle. What you want to stay away from is anything that feels like pinching, anything that feels like, you know, when you get this electricity sensation into the feet or like fizzing in the limbs, that's when you've gone a little too far and you want to back off the stretch. So I think when we need to push further is when we're not really feeling much, you know, when we feel like, am I supposed to be feeling a stretch because I don't feel anything? That's where we need to take a step back, ask ourselves what the point of this pose is, how can I adjust it in order to get something from it, and then push from there. But all of it comes down to mindful pushing forward. So it's not forcing our body into a shape just because we want to get it done, but taking a step back, looking at the big picture and saying, what am I trying to get from this? What's the point? What's the intention here? What am I supposed to be looking for? And then take steps forward based on your answer to that question. You need to back off once you've crossed the threshold from between discomfort, which is like, oh my gosh, my legs are on fire, I feel this in my glutes and it is burning in the muscle. That's discomfort, that's generally okay. And when you've crossed over that and now you've entered into my foot is getting numb, or my neck is starting to cramp, or my spine feels like it's painful, or anything like that. And I think we inherently know when we've gone too far, but our ego likes to trick us into thinking that maybe pain is a good thing, maybe pain is part of the process, and in that way, it's really not, okay? So pain is not part of this journey. Discomfort occasionally is, it often is. Discomfort, living in that discomfort, being okay with discomfort is what gets you to the next level. But pain will not get you to the next level. So always take a second to step back and say, is this discomfort? Is this tolerable? Or is this unbearable? And that's another way to measure it, you know? Like I always say that whenever we're doing something, make sure that you push yourself to the point where you have discomfort that is sustainable. So when we're in pigeon pose and you feel like, oh my gosh, my hip, like the muscles, your glutes and your hamstrings are really feeling that, it feels like it's doing something. It feels like you're working some muscles there and it's a little uncomfortable. But the second it starts to feel like I cannot hold this for any longer, this is getting uncomfortable and my foot is numb or your knee is bothering you, that's where you need to back off. And I think, again, our brains clue us into those moments. We start to question when it needs to be looked at. Because when you are just like in a pose and you're like, I'm feeling this and I know this is glorious and I'm just gonna lay here and let it happen, you know, we're kind of at peace with that discomfort. Whereas when it moves beyond the point that it should, that's when our brains turn on and we say, should my foot be feeling this way? Should I be feeling pinching in my knee here? And that's your clue, you know? And I think tuning into your intuition a little bit while you're practicing is really important. So listen to your body. Are you in pain? That's your first clue. Back off if you are. Second clue, are those sensations that you wouldn't normally have? Tingling, electricity, sharpness, like stabbing sensations anywhere, pain in the joints, all of that is a clear sign that you need to back off. So generally, keep your practice pretty simple. Listen to your gut. Ask yourself what the purpose, what the intention of a pose is before you mindlessly power through. Powering through has to be mindful. Is it because you're afraid of where the pose is going to take you and that's why you're backing off? Or are you feeling something that you know you shouldn't be feeling? Those are the questions that we need to ask when we are practicing. And if we ask those questions in a really honest, mindful way, then we will know when we need to back off, when we need to power through. So I'm gonna leave it at that. As usual, I would love to hear from you. So definitely let me know, what's your personal clue that tells you you need to power through or you need to back off? Anything that I didn't mention. Thank you guys so very much for joining me today. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you right back here next time.